Hi everybody, I'm Jim the Woodworker today. Oh by golly, there's one of my products, kittycave.com. It's a little cat tunnel. Anyway, I've got the kitty cot stuck on the window here. This is, I guess it's a 4 by 7.5 inch picture window. And it's a little bit foggy when it's in the light. It's an older window. And this window is actually going away. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take the window out, and then I'm going to do, I'm building my own bay window, so I've already bought the windows and stuff. And this window comes out, and then I'll frame it out, and there's going to be a 4 by 4 picture window right in the center. And then I'm going to have two of these kind of, what they call them, they used to call them double hungs, but that's some of them call it single hung. So I'll have we'll call it a single hung for this purpose. So there'll be a 4 by 4 piece of glass, fixed glass, which is outside, and then there's going to be the double hung there and a double hung on this side. And I'll whip it outside here so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So basically what I'm going to do, knock all the trim off of this window, and then I'll remove that glass, and it may get broken on the way out, but that's okay. And then we'll have a window here, we'll have a picture window here, and then we'll have the other window here, and it'll come out, and it'll go right to the soffit right there, and of course I'll have my ledger here. And so anyway, that's what we're going to do. And it's absolutely a beautiful day here in Seattle, as you can see. And I wanted to show you the windows real quick. This is a building they just built. Cool little workout room. So these are the windows right here. Got them at Lowe's. And we're going to begin by going into the shop here and looking around. And there's all my kitty cots there. Let's get busy. Okay, now what we're going to do is, I've got some real good plywood just from Home Depot. It's poplar, but I got to tear all the trim off here first to get going, so that's the start. So that's what we do. I'll take the top piece off, then we'll pop all these guys out right here. I think I can get that now anyway. We'll get all the trim off, and then the window will come out, and I'll show you how we do that next. Now I've got to get that top trim off. Cedar I put up, and of course I nailed it with stainless nails. So it's coming out a little hard. Okay, you kind of get the gist of it. about these shingles. They're going away anyway. Just got to be careful of my wife's plants down below here. So all this is going to come away, all these little pieces. I'm going to be a little careful with these shingles because I want to save them. And these are old shingles. Okay, so I'll finish getting that top undone and we'll keep on going from there. Okay, so as I look at this window here, it's kind of a funky situation. It's an old window, they put it in a long time ago. I was pulling on it, some of this trim right here, and I've already cracked the window right there. And I'm pulling this piece off right here. And if you look up, the top of the window is actually buried up in there underneath that T111 siding, which is this kind of siding right here. So I'm almost as crazy as it sounds. I'm thinking about, well, I'm going to take that piece out after I trim a little bit of the shingles. I don't want to ruin those shingles completely, because I think I want to save the bottom shingles there. Uh-oh. Oh, I'm unplugged here. Hang on just a second. Okay, I'm coming. Anyway, I'm going to trim a little bit of this shingles. Come on. I'm still unplugged. I got all these old cords here. I'm doing that to save the shingles so I don't bust all these up right here. So now I can come in here and pull this piece out of there and we'll go from there. What I wanted to show you here is I took a piece of that plywood, which is the plywood I'm going to use for creating the sill and the top of the window, because we're making a big garden window here, bow window, bay window. So I've covered up the window, like an old glass window, and I think, as crazy as it sounds, that's a big window for one guy to take care of. I've got it all tarped and plywooded out here, and I'm probably going to just bust that window and then just pick up the pieces and throw it in the garbage can here. So this ought to be interesting, to say the least. Okay, I'm pretty well all set up here to bust the window out. You might be wondering how I'm going to do it. Well, probably the best way to do it is with a hammer. You basically hit it with a hammer and bust it. So that's what I'm going to do. I am going to use a hammer and bust the window. A hammer on a pole. That's just one side. I got to do the inside of this thing. Believe me, this is tough stuff. You can see why I tarped it and put plywood down and metal. You don't want all this stuff in your yard. That's how you do it. Then you just pick up the pieces, throw it in the garbage can, and we're going to put the new one in. Okay, as you see, or as you can see, this is an extremely messy job. I have shards of glass everywhere. This is old glass, and you can see that it's just sparkling with pieces. So it's real dangerous work. You have to get up here, and I've got to remove all this glass up in here. And you can just see how small these little pieces of glass are. I mean, it just sparkles. It's like, this is the best thing to do, is bust this thing up, because if it, well, it was the best thing for me because I was just by myself working. And that would have been a real tough job. I would have never gotten it out by myself, and it would have broken into a million pieces anyway, trying to remove it. So what I did was absolutely the best way to go for me. Anyway, I'm going to keep on cleaning this mess up here, and then I'm going to go inside, clean up in there. I'll remove that plywood, and I'll vacuum everything, make sure all the glass is up, and then I can start framing out from my big bay window that I'm going to put in, which will be real fun to watch me do. So stay tuned, folks. Thanks. So this was actually one of the good reasons you tarp it all and put metal down, because everything slides very well on metal, especially glass. And this is not safety glass, by the way. This is old, brittle. Well, I don't know if it's old and brittle, but it's actually fairly old glass, but it's not safety glass. That's why it shards into a million little pieces. By all means, wear gloves. One heavy window there. Kind of a good thing to do. Clean up. Now you can just go through and vacuum all this stuff up here. All the glass, you know, what is up always comes down, so you just grab all that glass on the bottom of it. We'll do the final cleanup out here and inside, and we'll be glass free. So, there, Diesel. Actually, you're not in the way. Anyway, there you go. It literally is only no more than 2 hours since I set up and busted this window out. And your biggest thing about doing this kind of stuff is you got to be set up. You got to have you have to have tarps down. I mean, if I had not had tarps down, do you think I'd have had fun digging all the glass out of the grass and out of the rocks down here? It would have been a disaster. In fact, I see a little shiny glass right there. I can go down there with my vacuum cleaner, clean up that remainder. Because sometimes you walk barefoot out in the yard. But anyway, this is what you got. The window's gone. Now I can start framing this thing. And that should be fairly simple and straightforward. I'm basically going to build a plywood bottom and a plywood top. And then I'm going to frame it out with 2x4s or whatever it takes me to frame this whole thing out. And then I'll pop the windows in. And I'll be real nice. Everything will be really sweet here. So it's kind of cool. It's very cool to do your own stuff. Just be set up and be careful and don't get in a rush. Like I say, the biggest thing you can do is get set up properly.